YouTube has gone from being something as simple as recording on your webcam in your bedroom to making content that can range from being sensationalized to grounded, but of course requiring a little more effort than it did back in the day. That to say, YouTube has gone through many eras, and maybe it's time for a new era of YouTube unscripted sitcom content. And that is what this one group channel, Bunch of Friends, is setting out to do with their new group channel. They want to bring something different, yet familiar, to the YouTube space. Now, retro is something that has been trending a lot recently, especially with the rise of what seems like bland or uninteresting architecture and design. People find comfort in things reminiscent of this more colorful past. And the creators and Bunch of Friends are no exception. I've been watching all of these creators since about 2022, so I have a good idea and view of how their content has changed and grown, and how their values in the content they make kind of line up with appealing to an older YouTube vibe that a lot of people might be seeking out nowadays. So for Bunch of Friends, first I'm going to be talking about the central member, Anthro, and a little background about him, what they did with their first season, and where they're headed with the rest of their channel. Now Anthro, there's 4 members, but he is without a doubt the most central one. He's been doing content since 2019 and kind of has built his own niche. I'd describe most of his college content as being the personification of YOLO, doing things like talent shows, bed racing, becoming superheroes, making a K-pop group. And one of his most recent claims to fame has been creating the Timothy Chalamet lookalike contest, which was simply him putting out a flyer to gather a bunch of people in one space who looked like Timothy Chalamet. And it gained a lot of attention, as well as being parodied on SNL and having Timothy himself attend the competition. Now, Anthro in college was a business major, and being a business major plus content creator meant he understood virality and trends and what people wanted to see. Therefore, he launched a marketing company, and something he did to prove his knowledge of the space was a campaign called Kid with Crocs. And according to an article from Business Insider from November 4th, 2025 by Cindy Bradley, he stated that the Kids with Crocs account racked up millions of views and hundreds and thousands of followers, which showed his competency when it came to the online space and creating. Now, another big part of what makes him a central member is he knew all of the people before they became one group. He met Will Mahoney around 2020 in a content house. He met Hanbon during his college years, and he met Koi while he was working with Mr. Beast. And together they are a bunch of friends, and they do crazy activities in a somewhat structured way, which is what makes them very interesting. So for season 1 of Bunch of Friends, one of the biggest things they had was a narrative through line about them eating a skateboard once they reached 100,000 followers. That was the main goal. It was something that was repeated a lot throughout the season to build up unto the finale. Some other things that were included in their first season were things like iconic characters, like a haunted doll, Shirley, that they got off of Facebook Marketplace. They also had some other iconic moments that people clipped and put on things like TikTok, or they clipped and put on Instagram. And of course, iconic lines such as, "And I'm Will," which member Will Mahoney says a lot in various videos. The biggest thing they did in season 1 was their finale, 24 Hours to Eat a Skateboard, where they had to figure out how to eat a skateboard while including a bunch of characters and moments from past videos in that season to create one big cumulative finale. And as one user on IMDb named Hoochmore mentions in their finale review titled Peak Cinema from February 26, 2026, they say this was genuinely amazing. All the loose ends left from every other video tied up in a neat little bow. Then after their first season, they went on a short hiatus between the two seasons, followed by them addressing how long they planned to go for.
We're a bunch of friends! And this channel ends when one of us gets married.
So, 6 months ago, we decided to start making videos together.
And since then, we ate a skateboard, we played with a pebble, and we tricked 25 people into building our couch by throwing a construction-themed Halloween party.
We started this channel as a way to make our lives more interesting and to entertain all of you. We also think that it's bringing a spark to YouTube, a spark that YouTube could use.
So this clearly shows their intent with their channel and a preview of how long they're planning to go. But outside of that, they started off this new season with a new goal. They wanted to get in contact with the CEO of YouTube to ask him a question. And they've done various activities such as climbing a mountain to doom scroll in a giant TV, or driving till they run out of gas to get a hot dog from another city. Kind of continuing on that silly, goofy air of content and continually attracting new viewers. And as a YouTuber, Noah Durst says in his video, How to Make YouTube Fun Again, from June 28, 2026, where he's talking about various channels putting fun back in YouTube, he states that bunch of friends are all very quick-witted, and because they're a bunch of friends, occasionally confrontational, which can lead to some of the funniest moments. He also compares their style to different sitcoms like Community, which is a real testament to how, even with a new reviewer like himself, the intent of their channel to be this sitcom space comes across very clear, and they're creating something that fans are really enjoying. So with these different elements, such as Anne's Code, kind of bringing them all together, an amazing first season, and their drive to continue making content that they think people need to see, they have created something a little different in the YouTube space that may potentially influence other types of content in the future and bring YouTube back to feeling a bit more on the ground than it might feel sometimes. And in the end, they really are a bunch of friends.